Okay, test. There we go. That should have fixed that. Hi. Hi everyone. How are you all doing? Right, take three. Take three. Oh my god. Hi everyone. So, my cock up immediately was I had the website up straight off the bat. Don't do that. Uh, and then my audio wasn't for some reason wasn't working. So yeah, great stuff. You're just making a book. Oh, you're doing that for Empire? Are you, James? That's cool. Oh, Jesus. How is everyone doing today? Is everyone good? Is everyone having a good day, evening? Is everyone doing something relatively productive? Well, obviously not you're here. But is everyone doing okay with it for themselves? I hope so. Jesus Christ. Oh well, never mind. So, tonight, gonna have a look at. There is a. I'm being paid to watch your streams. That's you're at work, are you? Ooh, excellent stuff. Well, hopefully we can keep you occupied a bit there, Dave. Claire, I got you out of bed to update Etsy. That count? Maybe. So Dave is not at work. He's sat at home and I don't know, doing something else. Definitely not at work. Um, so we've had a look at. I mean, I've done like the 130 odd Empire videos. We've had a look now at Curious Pastimes. We've had a look at Lorien Trust. There are shitloads, and I mean shitloads, of LARPs that are out there. There are medium-sized LARPs. There are the ones who put a lot of effort into the storytelling and kit and costume. And there are smaller ones where it's just a group of people who want to meet up, tell a story, 4 or 5 of them go off into the woods, have a little play, have a little fight, and then they do it themselves, and then they eventually grow. So I have been to all of those sorts of LARPs. Um, Today's LARP is a LARP called Rising of Chaos. It's not a massive LARP, but it's a LARP that's definitely on the up. It's run by some very, very passionate people. I know some of the people who are involved in it and some of the players as well. Um, they are in the process of doing they're doing what PD want to do. It looks like they've just bought their own plot of land, which is incredible. It's so good to hear that LARPs and people involved with it all um, are so passionate about it that they want to do as much as they can for this. So it's great. I've had it's a LARP that I've looked at already, but this is a while ago, and their website has changed massively for the better. It looks really nice. Everything about this whole thing looks really really sweet. So it's definitely a positive thing. So we're going to do what we normally do. We'll have a look at the website. We'll have a look at some photos that they've got up. We'll have a look at everything there is about it. If the stream lasts 45 minutes, it lasts 45 minutes. If it lasts an hour and a half, it lasts an hour and a half. But we'll go through it all. Have I played any other LARPs other than Empire? Yes, I have. So my main one would be Vampire the Masquerade LARP, which I've played for decades. And then there was a small one that was run down here. I can't remember what it was called because it was the very very first LARP I ever. Well, yeah, the first LARP I ever did, and it was the start of the beautiful friendship with Mr. Justin, and and he helped massively, and I got to know some wonderful people throughout that hobby. So doing this sort of hobby, there are some incredible people out there. Some really, really passionate, some really, really talented peeps, which is really good. So I heartily recommend LARP to everyone. It's like I've said to Trot on stream, that I believe everybody should LARP. Like once in their life, give it a go. That escapism, the stories, that sort of fun is something that I feel everybody needs to explore and enjoy. So, thank you, Dave. But I feel that this is a LARP that I want to try. I forget who I was talking to. It might have been the stream itself. I want to see if I can get a group of people together to go to Rising of Chaos as a sort of invasion, if you will. And like to do some filming, obviously not of the game itself, but just behind the scenes, talk to people and stuff like that. But obviously I'll be in touch with them about that. But I want to go and play as many LARPs as I can and see them all. So yeah, so that's where we are. Little updates on what's we got going on. Obviously Comic-Con is coming up thick and fast. George's Walk is coming up thick and fast. So these are all big things. Yeah, so I look forward to... Oh my god, I want to try all the iLARP games out. Yeah, I want to try them all out. It just becomes a question of money and time. Because obviously I have a 12-year-old. So it's just a case of being able to get stuff sorted and travel and stuff like that. So, and also wanting to spend time, like family time, so spending time with my fiance and my daughter it means a lot. So I need to do those. I need to do all of those sorts of things. So you need to check them out. There was some reason not to go years ago, but I forget what. Especially as they take place nearly my brother's back garden. Oh, what, Rising of Chaos or iLARP, Scott? But yeah, I want to go and do as many of them as possible. Obviously, we're looking at getting a massive Rising of Chaos. Okay, well, it looks like they've got a new site now. So, obviously next year as well, I'm going to be looking at getting a group together to go over to Conquest. And it looks like Epic Armory are very, very happy for me and some others to go out to Copenhagen to go and see them, do some filming out there. There's another project involved with that which I can't talk about, but there's lots and lots of stuff. Alien this Friday, I bloody hope so. So if anyone fancies a tabletop game on Friday, let me know. So yes, I need to get the panelists sorted for Comic-Con again, because Reed Pop, who run Comic-Con, have said that they want a more diverse panel with me. So I need to get that sorted out, which is good. So yeah, London or Birmingham, really. And also with the content creator passes that I've got, I need to go and do some filming as well. I need to find out if I'm allowed a cameraman or something to come with me. So if anybody's interested in that, then chuck us a message too. But yeah, loads of stuff's going on. Loads of stuff. I've forgotten stuff. So, but still. Anyway, let's have a look at the website, because I can just waffle on and on and on, and I shouldn't. So, as no one has seen this website yet on this stream. Oh, look at this. No one's seen this all yet. There you go. I'll shrink myself a bit. So, yeah. Also, Dave, I have added you to the tabletop channel as well in the Discord too. Okay, bud? So, yes. Yeah, loads of stuff. Let's have a look at this site then, because this has changed a lot since I last saw it. Rising of Chaos's lore blurb reads like having a stroke. Does it? Thanks for away this weekend on player event, unfortunately. No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, there's plenty of spaces open up, Dave. So it's I mean, this is the sort of stuff that we want to look at when we're going to look at it. We're going to look at the good, we'll look at the bad, we'll give, and we'll just have a look at it all. So one of the things that I like that they do. Looks pretty cool. Is that they do these. So they chuck out these little messages for everybody, just to say to people, this is what we're doing, this is where we are, and that. So if I click on this one, I think it's this one. No, it's not this one. But thank you, Holly. There is one. Oh, it basically was talking about them finalising their own actual site, which is pretty good. Glade. Oh, that sounds awesome. I'm very jealous. So, the community, right, so the game overview. Let's have a look at this. So let's have a look at that. We'll have a look at their lore. We'll have a look at it all. I mean, the location here looks really cool. And that set dressing looks good. The kit looks good. 2014. Done by Mr. Facey himself. So it's okay. So let's go straight into their wiki then, and we can have a look around. I mean, obviously we're not going to see a wiki the size of what Empire's wiki is. Okay, so it's not so much, it's more of there are topics about things, and it looks like people have written stuff in, and they can do things. So, okay, we'll come back to species because I want to have a look at character creation. Character creation. It's very blue. Where is this LARP held? Let's have a look. I believe it's held in a variety of places. But so this is 3rd of July. Funny thing is that as I'm looking through this, I'm recognizing some of these people as well. We will come to it, I'm sure, where we see where things are. So, but right, character creation. We'll work our way through. We'll have a look and we'll see what we can see. Being a concave, that means nothing will happen, doesn't it? Basically, just going to be a nice picnic in a glade, almost Hobbit-like. See, that would be amazing. Okay, so national choices. The first step is to define where you are from. To do that, we ask that you familiarise yourself with the currently available player nations. Rising Case only has nations available from the continent of Dare Akmir. They have a short one-page description which gives you an overview of what it is like. However, there's a huge amount of background for most areas for OC, and feel free to go as far down that rabbit hole as you like. The Royal Basin is a monarchy. Kings, queens, freedom, ambition, pride, integrity. Lots of false virtues there. Lots of heresy. I enjoy this. People of this nation are proud of their heritage, their achievements. Societal class sounds a little bit like Dawn to me. Is that the only one? So, right, okay. Oh, there's more. So there's more here. Oh, right, okay. Because I have to admit, that looked like there was only one nation that you could play there. Okay. So, the Royal Basin, the Western Marches. Huh. I think I read one event is on near Southampton. I don't know if they use a regular site or not, though. I've definitely seen that they are in the process of buying their own site, so it looks like that sort of stuff will change. I remember hearing them do something over at one of the forts in Portsmouth, but that might be a different system. Right, the Western Marches, nobility, wealth, power. Oh right, okay. So they're all. So this is like an area of the world in the Royal Basin. So nobility, wealth, power. People live here for the hustle and bustle of city life. That sounds a bit like the League. The marches are dominated by its and the country's capital city of Haven, which controls the flow of wealth. People of the cities are motivated, driven to keep their position as the jewels of the royal base. Yeah, it sounds a lot like League. Your city is your pride. Excellent. Commerce is the lifeblood of civilization. That civilization is protected by laws. They both support each other and will be well protected. Yeah. It looks like, I mean, there aren't really a lot of LARPs that have the same, like, the kit, the demands and standards that Empire does. But it looks like it's quite free flowing, I guess is the best way to describe it. You get a lot of choice, and a lot of freedom with what you want to do and stuff. So, Choco Moco Latte. Hello Ryan, how you doing, buddy? The Ferns. Power, ambition, and achievement. The Ferns flourish in the southwestern corner. Home of sorcerers in the Royal Base, very much the seat of power of the colleges of controlling power. The power led to a powerful invasion of the demon foe from the Shadowed Lands in 2010, which was fully repulsed in 2016. See, now that looks really nice. I do like that. That's a I mean that kit looks really good. I like that. Scourge River, a source of trade from the Rice Empire down through the Low Kingdom, and that place there empties itself out into the Lake of Diamonds. Redemption is. Ooh. So we've got like an elf type thing. So, because what we've seen in all of them is that they do the nations and then they do like any races and stuff like that. So we'll get to that. I'm sure. Hopefully we can see where they host the majority of them. But it looks like there's woodland and stuff like that. So camping and things like that looks like it's part of it too, which is nice. Hope does not come easy to a Ferner. The memories of time in the labour camps and of the cruel care of their overlords are still fresh. Sorcery is power. Power is not a privilege. Rise from the ashes. They are a proud people. Open hand and no lies. They are brutally honest and open when speaking. They are candid and free with insults and praise. Yeah, sounds good to me. Raw fingertips, trying to sew fur like a knob, but doing good, Steve. Excellent. It's been a long day. Yeah. I can imagine. I mean, if you're sewing fur, then yeah. Right, the bitter veil. Oh my god! Now that is a friend of mine called Matt. and he played, for those who in the Navarre who have been since the beginning, you will have heard of a guide called Floyd, and that was played by Matt, and Floyd was an absolute legend. Absolute legend. So I don't think there'll be too many people in chat actually who will know of Floyd, but yeah, he his legend lives on. It really does. So, industry, endeavour, tradition. They've long travelled, made their way south from Javelot. Commonly referred to as the Frozen North, within they brought the legends of that land to merge with those of our own and given birth to the Vale as we know it. Ooh. So, beast people, animal people. Shriekspire encompasses smelters, factories, and other amalgams of an industrial life. They've got guns. They've got guns. We could have guns. Do people want guns? Just to mention guns. Crime is rife, underpinned by a powerful Vanguard cooperative who battles for control against the Hu Chao and the Octagonal Order. All of that is supported by the wealthy merchant families. Okay, so this is, I suppose, like an underworld sort of one. So like the bottom of the pile, underdogs, the fiefdom of the beggar's turn. The people, a bit of ale, speak quietly, keeping vigil with bleakars, guarding the secrets of their hard land to themselves, remembering their stories of the horrors in the mountains and the lakes of the homeland. The power of these hardy folk is built on industry and invention. That's cool. The old ways teach us how to battle. The things of myths and legend, tradition should be kept up and their origins remembered. The ties that bind family and loyalty through friendship are iron bonds between us, and all who dwell in the bitter vale are family or friend. Strike first, art questions later. Very Navarre. Be better. There is always a newer, better version of everything you see. Weapon, from sword to gun, transport from boat to dirigible. There is always a better you. That's quite interesting. So for those who play vampires, they remind me a lot of the Nosferatu as well within that. Eat the rich. Yes, Dave, exactly. Eat the rich on this one. Can you imagine guns are hard to ref in a game with a lot of peoples? Yeah. I can imagine so. If they're anything like Maelstrom, when they did it, it was literally someone was stood with a gun, and they'd call a ref over, and they'd go, right, that person wearing the red hat over there, I'm gonna shoot them, and then that ref would then radio another ref who was over there. That ref would go walking over to them and go, this one, right, you've taken 7,000 points of damage or 5 points of damage or something like that, and then that person would have to react. So I think it is possible. It might just be a bit slow, or I mean, I suppose unless you're doing the honor system, we'll have a look at the rules in a bit, and we'll see what it says about the guns, because I would be quite interested to see how they do it. So Ironstone Bay. Only for the distance. When short range, you just shouted. Ah, okay. I only ever saw the rifles and stuff being used. Trade, redemption, Aegis. Ironstone Bay is a land divided by its history, and one that has changed the actual landscape and geography found on the maps of its past. Did anyone ever play 7th Sea? There was a nation in that game called I think it was Eisen. Is essentially they were like the German, Hungary, all of that sort of part of Europe, and they were very, very divided. It was like one big area that had masses of civil wars and things like that. That's what I'm getting vibes of from there, and that's cool because that was always the nation I played in 7th Sea as well. So western border is cluttered with many fiefdoms of the Golden Lands. For long ages, the lands were under the dominance of the House of Toracalin. Yep. I went to an airsoft event where we were supposed to act and get treated like we'd actually been shot. I spent a lot of time in the medical room. Excellent. Someone when this ref walks up to you like you've been sniped. Yeah, that was literally it. Yeah, Dave, I'm looking at... I'm running or making my own LARP, a mixture of LARP, traditional LARP and airsoft and stuff. So... but I have no idea how it's going to go. It's quite a long-winded process. But yeah. Let's have a look. The fall of Ironstone Bay began in 2010 when the Silverlight family destroyed the power of Carmine. See, that's cool. That's a solid look. There is a dominant sense of ruthlessness and brutality to their methods that seem to hang over the old days of the Toracalins. The west of the land is controlled to the city of that place. The land is divided. See, now that's a cool look. Obviously, I've got the hair for it, so I can pull that off really easily. So, but that's a solid look, though. What I'm getting from a lot of this game and a lot of the nations is that they have a basic... This is a rough idea of what the nation is. And a lot of these nations are coming out of something and they're trying to find their own identities as well. But they're keeping, like, historical ideas, but they're trying to change it into... And they're becoming newer ideas as well, I guess. So I think they'd be open to a lot of things as well, which is really cool. Trade is life. War is always coming. Sacrifice brings victory. Redemption purifies the soul. Okay. That's quite interesting. So, I mean, there's a couple... I mean, some of the looks, they're very, very different looks for this nation. Aren't they? So, they could be very, very interesting. You son of a bitch. I mean... Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I mean, I'm speaking to people who've done a lot of airsoft as well, and things like that, and it's gonna be an interesting one. But I like the idea of it being a survival type LARP as well. But I'm also planning the Vampire the Masquerade LARP as well down in Southampton, because I've just taken that over from the old STs. So I've got a couple of meetings coming up where we need to plan how we're going to do it. So we're looking at Mind's Eye Theatre for that. So if anybody fancies doing a Vampire LARP, give me a shout. The Wooded Ways, and then the Golden Lands. Okay, the Wooded Ways calls the Ancient Heart, and there's a little fly. Little midge, you bastard. Any update on the 2 feet event? No. Base is the basic there. That's all kind of stopped. A lot of stuff has happened, so it means that has sort of been put on hold, and then we'll probably look at it in the new year again, to be honest. It's the greatest and the oldest of the forests, so these are foresty peeps, so Navarre essentially. Oh, they're green. Now look at that hammer. But it's the hat, isn't it? That's what tops that off. That hat is legendary. To do the Great Temple to the 11 that grew in a handful of months, a temple so large that it is considered a city. The priests of the 11 come together and discuss and debate the changing face of the divine and understand the power of the focus. So I'm guessing focus is the magic. The people of the wooded ways are dedicated to the land and that which temporarily resides upon it. The balance between them, which has been given to the spirits, which has allowed it to return. If that, I mean, apart from the green face, if that doesn't scream Navarre, that's amazing. That's so cool. You're a mean one. Yeah, I know, I suck. Looks like he belongs in it's old Greg. I'm old Greg. You ever drink Baileys from a shoe? Fighters and thinkers. Yeah, it's Navarre. The law over the Tau rules. This is a Tau-based society, and such the laws of Gilead, as laid down by the Elestrom, have seniority. Everything ends and everything begins again. Grief and sorrow are the place when something ends, but a celebration of life that will come is more important. Traditions are lessons that must never end. I will learn to read one day. Long ago, rites and rituals were laid down that must be remembered and cared for. Respect is the greatest virtue. Is there a false virtue at Empire called respect? And if not, why not? I like that one. It looks a bit peaky, yeah. I quite like the look of the Wooded Way. Well, I'm torn at the moment between the Wooded Ways and Ironstone Bay, to be honest, for me. Golden Lands. Great fields and farms of the Golden Lands roll as a long sliver of rich and fertile lands down from the mountains in the north until they find a border with the Wooded Ways to the south. To their west and chill, mist-filled landscape of the Bitter Vale, and to the east, the coastal forest of Ironstone Bay. The Golden Lands are named for the valuable harvests of wheat, although the farms that dominate the duchy are also heavy with such crops as alfalfa, barley, corn, and cassava, to name but a few. See, that's a nice solid look as well. That's cool. It's like everybody's really... It's like... I do like this kit. Respect your enemy. Nah. Yeah, loyalty. Yeah. Capital R, respect, no, but it might get read as undermining ambition. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and when it comes respecting your enemies, I never do that anyway. Even in Wintermark, when they tell me to, I still don't. The capital of the gods is a fortress monastery that was founded many centuries ago. Ooh. Farmland is difficult to protect, which forced the Shadow Mains to restructure the land. Small villages and outlying townships were linked via good infrastructure, and 4 large market towns were constructed, representing the height of evolving civilization. Okay. Now that's a solid look, isn't it? That really is. They've been taught loyalty, obedience, and courage in the name of the Royal Basin and the Nine. Faith before life, belief and faith influence all aspects of a Golden Folk's life, from their social to their political. Rigidity and conformity, they are entrenched in the caste system of priests at the top and farming folks at the bottom. Even their nobility, if not a priest, are heavily influenced by the church. So they're crusaders then. Loyalty is honour, honour is life, and this corner of the world, the oaths of the basin hold dear, are literally sacred. Land is political power. The basin needs the food for the Golden Lands provide. Ownership of the land on which it grows is powerful, and control of land is something that's jealously guarded and a means to pride. Okay. There are some interesting nations here, aren't there? So, no, that's what you've been in Wintermark too long. Yeah, hi Joe. So technically, I've been in Wintermark for 4 events. 4 events. And it's bizarre because I still the way I treat the enemies and stuff like that is like it gets me into a lot of trouble. But I've made a decision as a Calavesi. You make a decision and you stick with that decision. And my decision is I'm going to kill every single one of my enemies. So executing them, yeah, it's just one of the things, isn't it? It's part and parcel here. And they really don't like it. So, okay. Right, so that's character creation, race and remnants. There are many races across the Royal Basin, with human in the majority. Choosing a different race or a remnancy is choosing to look very cool, and also to pick up a lot of additional racial plot that won't directly be associated with humans. Certain magical effects, beneficial and not so beneficial, will appear across your time in Rising of Chaos. That will only affect certain races or remnants. This is not a choice to be made lightly, but we promise you that it will be fun. Excellent. So it looks like they've put story and game ahead of mechanics and stuff like that, which is good. Which is something that I can get behind. I mean, this kit looks really nice, though, doesn't it? I really like this kit. So, way too long. Get out while you still can. Well, yeah, you can take the boy out of Navarre. Yeah, I think Steve is Navarre. Definitely, 100%. I like this. I like this kit. This looks like, I might be wrong. Well, that's a hand fasting by the looks of it. But this looks like Fort Widley in Portsmouth. I might be wrong on that one, but never know. A Wintermark fighter lasting 4 events, inconceivable. I know. Race, ancestry, remnants. Okay, so right, so let's have a look at the races then. Species. So humans, Kalashinka, ghouls, orcs, Codex Aelofs, Lairdan Gan Aelofs, Zeed Sane Aelofs. That's a friend of mine as well, Kit. Urfavalen Aelofs, Zumatakan Aelofs. What the hell is an Aelof? Granite Heart Kuldasar, Ironblood Kuldasar. Well, these are things that I was not expecting to be seeing. That's yeah, that they're species, the guess. Then that I have no idea what any of them are. I've never seen anything like it. I value oh right, okay. So they've given. Okay, so designed for players who want to be intellectuals who would instinctively shy away from the need to lead or be involved in combat. Right, okay. So, examples. Flint Lockwood from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Never seen it. Doc Brown from Back to the Future. Blinkus from Troll Hunters. Never seen that either. So, Kalashinka have spots like a leopard. Okay, yeah, you can see she's got spots. The skin on the upper part of the face is shaded. They often have long pointy ears. Leather aprons, jerkins are common among their people. Lots of pockets, tools and measures, goggles. They're inquisitive, thinkers, energetic, naturally kind. Okay, so this is something. I'm not saying the Kalashinka for me, but this is something that I could get behind. I like the fact that they seem to have avoided essentially common species, races and stuff. And they've done something different, which I quite like. Troll Hunters is on Netflix and is amazing. Okay, so Dawn sold it. I'll be sitting down to put that on tomorrow then. Ooh, I should have just gone back. I'm curious now. What examples did they give for humans? Let's have a look. Oh, okay. Nothing. Okay, so it looks like kit then is something that it's all dependent on whatever you're picking. So you take some sort of influences from that sort of stuff. Ghouls are a unique race of people, mixed receptions wherever they go. They're neither living nor dead. Their origins are a mystery. They come into the world adults but a blank slate with only basic knowledge of the world remembered. They are inquisitive but seek control and management, not just of their life but of power in general. They rise to positions that allow them to rule and give them dominance of what takes their interest. So Batman, Agent Coulson from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Greg House from House. So for this lot, I know all three of those people. So they have white, pallid white skin, dark undertones to their eyes and cheeks. They all have features to their original race in life. Practical, smart attire, the relish of objects and items that project power. They heavily observe the traditional dress of the land they travel in. They lack social graces. They are rarely afraid. They are naturally distant. They hear voices. I like this. So, that's quite funky. So you were something else, but you're now this. But whatever you were beforehand is affecting what you are here. That's quite that's unique. I like that. I like that too. Orcs. Orcs are a race of adventurers if ever there was one. There's an old orc saying, the horizon is my home. Happy on land or at sea, orcs have been foremost amongst the adventuring community since the early days of history. Inquisitive and open, the race of orcdom populates every empire across the known world and can be found engaged in social activities in every pub and tavern across the land. Okay. Examples in the real world. The Doctor from Doctor Who. They're for people who want to have a smile on their lips and a kind word for most folk from the start of their day to their finish. Genuine good guys with a flair for heroics and need to look after people. That's an interesting take on orcs. Okay. So the Doctor from Doctor Who, Spider-Man from The Amazing Spider-Man, Captain Amelia from Treasure Planet. I've never seen Treasure Planet either. I'm sorry, Dawn. I know. I can feel your eyes glaring at me. Orcs have horns. Orcs generally have a flavour to their skin dependent on their ancestry. Orcs commonly have fangs. They prefer to dress in the fashion of the day of whatever land they're in. They enjoy a good hat. Oh, you've never seen it? I don't feel anywhere near as bad now. Yeah, orcs have horns. It's certainly a twist. It's a nice take on orcs compared to your traditional D&D, and I like it. Yeah, hats are important. See, this is something that I've been getting from this whole thing. I don't know if anyone else has been picking up on it, but it's like the people who have made this have really wanted to stamp their own ideas into common law, I guess, and that's really nice to see. So, I mean, and that hat. Orcs love to travel. They rarely settle in their youth. They travel and learn and explore and create. No orc would usually dream of a family until they reach their middle years, and then they need to spend at least 10 years searching for their perfect soulmate. Orcs are romantics. Heard it here first. They believe in the power of myth and fable to make it through the day. They see beauty everywhere and are easily won over by a cause that sings to this idiom. A pair of young lovers seeking to escape tyrannical families will get an orc involved every day of the week. Okay. Oh my god, I'm leaning towards playing an orc. Orcs are eternal optimists. They honestly believe that everything is going to be alright and are happy to say so with a smile on their faces. This often makes them an irritating companion and more than often a wrong companion, but this generally does not faze them and they carry on their happy way. They're risk takers. Life is far too short and sit around being sedentary all day. They are ready to get on an unknown ship, go all in with a bad hand, or call out that big of an individual with the club if they get down to a bit much bullying. This often gets them killed. Yeah. Any plan which involves losing your hat is a bad plan. I think the only thing that would get me is the horns. There, because if I was going to play an orc here, I'd want to wear an orc mask, but having the horns as well might be a little bit too much for me. Yeah, I quite like the sound of orcs so far. I don't know if anyone else is like stupid work. Can't they see him busy? You go, buddy. Well, hopefully it goes quickly for you. Ugh. So yeah, at the moment I'm sold on orcs. I have to admit. These are So I don't know what these are. Sorry, I thought I had something outside there. This race is touched by the power of the Gilead, an eldritch force that is the codex of war during the great upheaval of faith. Okay. They are designed for people who enjoy playing hip and thigh style believers of faith. Fervent and unwavering in their beliefs, they are, however, still new to the world and have much to explore and learn, taking much at face value and being openly trusting and unquestioning. They are also likely to have their lineage with the Zoranethi and their once portentous abilities called into the game. So Nightcrawler from X-Men, River from Firefly, and the Iron Giant from Iron Giant. Okay. They have various shades of soft purple as an undertone to facial colouring. They often have long pointed ears. They prefer robes that fit with the deity. They usually carry priestly tokens. They're brewers and crafters. It was Zoranthi. I don't know what that means at the moment. I've obviously not read enough lore. They are a part of the Kraken and become infused with a part of his being. In this, they are extensions of faith and are easily influenced by those of faith and bend easily to anyone who presents strongly of their deity. They are patient. It's an interesting concept. Looks like elves. You can get latex horns. I think Mandala do them, so I don't see why you couldn't have a latex orc mask with latex horns attached to it rather than trying to wear two things on your head at once. Yeah? Okay, well, we'll have a look at that then. I'll have a look. I might have a look into that then, just to see what that potentially that could be like there. So you've got the Ledan Gan Elves. Ledan Gan are designed to allow players to present with a more detached personality that fits the more esoteric nature of magic that they are heavily involved with. They allow you to play with an aloofness from the passionate nature of many other characters and can often be seen as cynical or uncaring. So Vulcans, Sherlock Holmes, Hermione Granger. They have various shades of blue as an undertone to their facial colouring. They often have long pointed ears. They favour one-tone outfits. In quiet colours, they carry magical accoutrement. They wear emblems of their family houses. They are calm, snobbish, ethical, moralistic, and uncompromising. Not for me, I don't feel. But I know a few people out there who probably would suit them down to the ground. Touch with the power of the comet. Sea signs are designed for people that want to play dynamic characters who care very little for the viewpoints of others and avoid deliberation, often going ahead with a course of action that others would find reckless. They are not good at getting on with others, but are not supposed to be villainous, more anti-heroes that play the part of the loner outside of the group that will come good when needed. Romulant, Han Solo, Gru. That could be quite fun. Various shades of white and silver as an undertone to their facial colouring. Long pointed ears. Practical garb. Invariably armed. They wear aggressive colours and clothing. They're instinctive. They do not apologise or explain themselves. They have too much remorse. Are fiercely loyal and will fight for things they respect. Okay. See, that could be interesting. But I don't like the idea of marrow elves. Yes. Melves. Melves. Yeah, I like that. Vervalen. Hi Reese, how are you doing, buddy? They are designed for individuals who want to present strong, aggressive characters that are still fighting for the right causes. They have some level of dislike within the royal basin as they are folk who protect the primal areas of the world, which has led them to some levels of prejudice in the world, so this should be expected. So poison ivy, the wood elves, or swamp thing. They have various shades of bark colouring as an undertone to their facial colouring. They often have long pointed ears. Okay, so often have, and that. So if I were, because this sounds quite fun as well. So I wouldn't have to wear the ears because I find I just don't get on with like prosthetic things and stuff. So wilderness survival. They usually carry ritual garb to thank the Gilead with. Feathers and such other tokens have often woven into their hair or beard. Definitely says or beard there. But that's quite a funky look. Very, very Navarre. So yeah, Navarre elves. Briar elves. Elvar. Brelf. Good thing. It's slightly leaking, so there's that. Job for the weekend indeed. Yes. They are relentless, they are beings of the wild, they are straightforward, they are prideful and self-destructive. They will push themselves to achieve beyond the ability of other people to prove that through their connection to the land they are better. They are highly competitive and sometimes self-destructive. They sound fun. They sound like a lot of fun. Zuma Taken. Let's have a look. That looks like an old photo. They're designed for players who want to express as a confident and passionate individual that is suited to roles at the forefront of the game, be that as a leader, a priest, or a trader. They are keen, active, and wear their hearts on their sleeves in any situation that they find themselves in. So Leia, Jim Lake Jr. or Marty McFly. They have various shades of dark resin undertone to their facial colouring. They often have long pointed ears. They favour bright colours and silks. They tend to dye ribbons and feathers in their hair or beard. Opulence for preference. They're proud, passionate. They believe in hospitality and they never forget. They're elephants. Okay, they sound quite fun. I'm definitely still leaning towards the Brelfs. I think maybe the reference photo needs to be a bit redder. Yeah. Oh dear. Something tells me a designer is a fan of Troll Hunter. There's been a few of the similar sort of things, but I think what seems to be nice about this is that it's constantly seems to be growing and changing. So Granite Hearts, is that a dwarf? Is that Pete? Are incorporated into the game for those who want to play hard-working, ethically minded folk that want to achieve great and personal goals. They are folks who want to build tremendous works or lead nations, but who are willing to sacrifice their friendships and their personal lives with ruthless efficiency to achieve this. Rodney McKay from Stargate Atlantis, Queen Elizabeth I, or Cersei Lannister. They cultivate facial hair and they wear family colours. They prefer to wear expensive jewellery. They generally carry the tools of their trade. They carry something from their homes with them. They're perfectionists, driven to achieve, stubborn and independent. They find it hard to ignore a challenge. Yeah, that sounds quite fun. That sounds quite dwarvish to me. I like the sound of those. Or Iron Blood Culdasar. See, that's a solid look as well. Iron Bloods are designed for players that want to get their teeth into a proper anti-hero. They are bound by a set of rules and oaths, but they will also be happy to pursue their own personal gains and goals that will affect the game one way or the other. They provide an excellent opportunity for players that want to follow a redemption arc story. So Moriarty, Badger, or Hoggle. Oh, Hoggle. They're pale skin, they wear tattoos of their clan on their arms, they often have fanged teeth. They prefer to be beardless, well that rules me out then. They wear gang colours and markings like a uniform. Hats are often an Iron Blood thing. So they're marked from birth, they come in clans, they're sentimental, they yearn for redemption. Excellent. So, I want to have a look at remnancy. So, are you a remnant? Let's have a look at the remnancy, because I don't know what this means. I'm guessing this is like a... Right, okay, so this is just another part of what you're affected with, I guess. Afflicted? Affected? So, angelic, demonic, fey, lichen, Varro, Varokian. Okay. So, angelic. So, essentially, where you'd normally just have... You've got your nation, you've got your race, species, or whatever. That's that. Now make your character. They've got 3. Which is quite interesting. Her feathers running in sequence in your head. It looks awesome. Moments like okay. Revered and raw. They are dangerous beings whose souls are considered pure by some and corrupt by others. Very spiritual. Demonic remnants. They are horns, scales, tattered wings, unnatural growth on arms or legs. Excellent. This looks like a lot of fun. This is just... Look at that. Doesn't that just scream Calavasi? That's amazing. They'll have large antlers or curved horns. That looks so cool. Yep, so much stuff to throw into this character creation. It's Calavasi, but with sparkle. Oh. Are they going to be like... I can't remember the name of it now. Oh, what was the name of that terrible vampire thing? Not. I can picture it. I can just. It's right there. It's got the new Batman in it. Sorry. Okay, I'll stop talking there. Lichen remnants. Don't make me remember the 2000s. Claire did it. Twilight. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. So they have race, yeah, lineage, and affliction. Yeah, that's really cool. That is a really, really cool idea. It's very unique. So lichen. So shapeshifters come from many lineages, but the majority wolf, bear, tiger, raven, snake, rat, and shark. Jesus. Slitted pupils, yellow eyes, or elongated or animalistic ears. That's a funky look. Varro. Children of the astral, outcast and hunted. They have crystals growing from their skin. They may also have cracked and broken skin and prominent veins. Most of the basin hates them. They tend to be planners, preparing for dangers and laying their plans. With the veteran skill of a seasoned general, they revise their tactics again and again. Okay, they're quite interesting. 50 Fangs of Grey Light. Ooh. Shark Jesus. Yeah. That would be an interesting build, that's for sure. Varokian remnants. Ancient and illegible script of the world of their origin tumbling down their skin like tattoos. They run from their temples, down the side of their face and neck, finally pooling at their shoulders. Okay. They float through life, rarely stopping in one place long enough to find their feet before moving on. However, wherever they go, they make friends, they learn, and they have a mark of friendship. Okay, interesting. That's quite interesting. So, politics and plot. Is this going to be giving you a... So with the basic skeleton of where you're from and where you're born, each nation has agencies. Jesus. Each nation has agencies that are responsible for training a character as one of the archetypes which appear in Step 5. These agencies are what will give your character guidance in our story, a way of delineating plot and keeping in touch with your nation through playing the game. Committing downtime, or if you are new or returning, reading through this ever-evolving website. Each descriptive agency will give you an insight to how the archetypes in Step 5 operate within the structure of the nation. So... yeah, that's definitely Fort Widley in Portsmouth. The guilds are modified by the iron table. So, steel table, azure table, emerald table, crisp table. Jesus. I'll have a look at one of these, because I'm realising how this is all... okay. So, fully trained soldiers... and follow the military chain of command. Right, okay. So you pick... so they're not on the front line of battle whilst they are capable of having battles in their backstories or the state. Okay. So you then, within your nation, you have to pick something from that as well then. So personal background and goals. So it's what it reads like. Krill, yeah. What it reads like is that they are going. You've got 5 or 6 points in your character creation that they can then just come to you and say, you've got this piece of plot. This is something that's going on that you'd be interested in. You've got this there. You've got that there. Go and do what you want with it. Sister was more for happy for you to give us a background. Alright, so this is just what we are looking for and everything like that. So while we're running games, exactly what we want as players. You can tailor our story to you and your development as to build you DPCs of the past and send you images of who will be playing them. Ah, right, okay. So that's cool. So if you write someone into your background, so this is my uncle who killed my dad and stole my family's sword, they'll send you a picture to go, this is what your uncle looks like. And then eventually you could see your uncle walk into game with him and with that sword, and you could go and job him. I quite like the sound of that. Not that background, but the fact that they let you know. So this is the person from your background. This is what they actually look like. That's quite funky. So archetypes and starting skills. No matter what nation you belong to or any other choices that you have made as a character, this step remains the same. So yeah, that's definitely Fort Widley. There's a lot of varied kit there, isn't there? So yeah. I get the impression that it's a lot of people meeting up when they come to play this. There's a lot of people and they're all playing everyone from all over, but they've all been asked, summoned to a certain point, and they're all there together for reasons. So that looks quite fun. So each character begins with exactly the same selection of abilities before moving on to specialise themselves. So 3 hits, the ability to utilise simple armour, simple weapons and simple shields. 1 vote per quarter. A gain of 80 shields per monthly downtime. This will be deposited in your character's or side bank account at the start of each month. The ability to perform 1 downtime action per quarter. Any standard equipment that you can phys rep. 20 endeavour. There are many different archetypes. Right, so you pick an archetype as well. They start with identical endeavours worth of skills which stack on top of your starting max buys later. So what archetypes have they got? Okay. Soldier, hunter, caster, specialist, chirurgeon, academic. So is that a boar? I can't quite tell. Was that no? It's a wolf, isn't it? The Royal Basin has produced a soldiery to stand. So you draw pay from it. Okay, so you get to pick your 1 tactical point plus 1 hit. Right, and then you have to email them, and they send you your online character sheet. Okay. So a champion of a deity, a mercenary, bodyguard, or a bravo. 1-on-1 personal defender of a rich client who is willing to put their life on the line for cold, hard cash. Sounds good. So, okay. No, it's a little bit to get your head around, but it does make sense. Yeah. So, one guy keeps getting settled as the murderer. You killed my father. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down? Used to be a werewolf. He's alright. Now. So, there's stuff here, so you can really define it. You can really pin it down. Oh my god, you can even click on those things. So you can make great ships, potion brewers, carpenters. Jesus. There's so much here. So you can craft, repair. Wow, there's just a lot. That's so cool. Ooh, skills. Let's have a look at. Fuck's sake, Steve. Right. Let's have a look at individual skills, and then let's see where that takes us. You begin with 3 or 4 wound levels, depending, which provide the basic archetype, which provide the basic hit. So I'd probably go soldier, which will give me a +1, so that'll be 4 hits. Armor skill. Draw. Okay. Helmets, shields, weaponry. I don't know what these things mean. I feel like it'll be... There's a lot there. I really like the character creation. And that's just the game overview. And I feel like they could be so much to it. But it's like any game, I guess. It just takes a little bit. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to. See, how Dornish does that look? I've got to stop thinking of Empire, haven't I, really? But how awesome does that look? That shield is amazing. A battle go-kart. That sounds fun. If you have no hits left, you fall to the floor incapacitated. You can crawl for help and crawl slowly around. You can count, whilst incapacitated, you count to approximately 20 seconds. That's called your in-cap count. After that count ends, you fall unconscious and start to die. Jesus. Now you start counting again. This time, though, it's a death count. If you reach 30, you have died. Holy shit. 50 seconds. 50 seconds and you're dead. Magically or medically healed. If you're not dead, you may be healed immediately by magic for 1 or more hits. Or slowly by chirurgery for 1 hit. If you've pulled a wound card, they're healed exclusively via chirurgery, although other methods may affect a wound card positively. The rule of cool. The game is about role-playing and reacting to things in the coolest manner that you can. If it feels cool and you feel like you're in a movie, then it's probably right. You and the rest of the cast are a big damn hero anti-hero of said movie, so you should have all the best scenes and best lines, so long as you stick to the safety rules, which are much longer. So there's this little bloody things around. Sometimes it looks cool to go for a flurry of blows, which is fine, but that as rough guide, you're taking 1 hit per second, no matter how many times one person is hitting you. So they get the 1 hit per second thing. Again, an event is filmed in a number of acts that are determined by the directors, storytellers. Most magics have a duration based of this, per rollover, per scene. Most Omnidex skills can be used per scene before replenishing. So you might hear a call of rollover, which could be a whistle blast. The exact nation of how a rollover is signalled will be explained by your ref team. At that point, tactical points roll over and you get to use them all over again. Arrows and bolts might hit you, should act as though you've been hit by a fast-moving heavy projectile. When you hit things, they will suffer damage either by physical blows or magic. At no point does it become worthless to engage in a battle against the foe. Certain creatures have greater resilience to magics or susceptible to certain types of metal. If a foe is not being affected by your damage, the crew member will attempt to make it known to you by using role-playing. The like, however, in some situations they will just call minimal. This gives you the chance to change tactics and employ more damaging methods. Okay. That is interesting. I now need to know about this Omni deck. Oh, I can't see it there. Magic. Now, let's see what sort of magic they do. It's designed to be a group-orientated, heroic and high fantasy experience. Well, the first form of magic comes from the Nexus. It's directed at the purity of body and its intolerance of corruption. It's a discipline of magic that requires rigidity to resist the powers that speak from the void to the sorcerer. Continuously tempting them to their side, sorcery is synonymous with the idea of power and control, with many pursuing it for personal gain. Okay. Using power risks the chance of being contacted by beings that dwell at the edge of the worlds or in the cracks. So combat casting. Goes combat words. Casting for any magical spell take a minimum of 4 seconds to cast, required to follow the style. You must wait 3 seconds of their recovery time before casting again. An allowed iteration of the indicated spell effect. Okay. There's a lot. There's a lot there. So, but they got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and that one. So I don't. It's going to be like with all. I get the impression that with all of the LARPs that I talk about, I'm going to have to get people on to come and talk to me about them. Yeah. I think it's a very, very interesting LARP. That I like the look of it. I like it. It strikes me as being something that people have put a lot of time and effort into doing, and there's a lot of love and care in that, which is fantastic to see. And I'm going to have to get in touch with them to see if I can get someone to come on and basically educate me on how to do it all. But as with all of the LARPs, I mean, chat, did any of those nations, species, or anything like that appeal to anybody in chat at all? There were a couple. There was the orcs definitely spoke to me. You want to be a goblin? Of course you do. There's plenty there, I think, and I think there could be a lot of fun to do as well. So I think we'll have to get something together and see if we can get a load of people to go and visit all of these LARPs that we do. Because I mean, obviously we've got LT, CP as well. So we can get our little group of mafia hobbits to go off to one of them as well. So, but yeah, there's a lot there, and it's really cool. So yeah, go and check out Rising of Chaos. It looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm going to call it there. So thank you everyone for coming along to watch, listen, chat, have a look at a different LARP. There's loads. There are so many LARPs out there. We will keep on going through as many as we can. And yeah, be a lot of fun. So everyone look after yourselves, stay safe, and all of that. Stay hydrated. And remember, you could probably play Shark Jesus at one of these things. So yeah. Friday, gonna hopefully play Alien tabletop game. And cheers, Pete. And on tomorrow, if I'm bored, because my daughter is away with she's with her granddad for the afternoon, evening for dinner, so I've got more free time. I might stream Football Manager and bore everybody senseless. So, but still, anyway, you all look after yourselves. You all take care. You all stay safe, and I'll speak to you all soon. Much love. Bye bye.